Hi everyone, for today's video I am over on OP Blocks, a survival Minecraft server, and today I'm going to be talking to you about everything you need to know when it comes to guilds. Now before we jump into this video, please drop a like right now, which is the big thumbs up button down below, and please don't forget to subscribe if you are not already, and let me know in the comments section what your favorite thing is over on survival. Now let's jump in. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what is a guild? So first of all, a guild is essentially like a group that you can play with friends, and it's essentially a way to also kind of reflect your progress. We actually have a command /G top, if I can spell it right. And guild top is basically which shows all of the different guilds, and it kind of has like a sort of positioning, so to speak. So like level, like guild number 1 to guild number 10, and so like top positions of guilds. And it's really interesting because when you do the command, we can see here tree is the number 1 guild. And you can kind of see down here, this one is guild number 11. And what you can actually do is flick through the pages and be able to see all of the different ones. So for example, the guild that I'm in, we're currently at position 21 on guild top right now. And when you hover over, it tells you the name of the guild, the amount of power they have, the amount of claims, and the number of members. As you can see, there is a maximum of 10 people, including the owner, that can be in the guild. And when you're on this window / interface, you can actually click onto that guild name and it takes you to their guild base, or their guild warp, we should say. And often or not, this is where people will have shops available for you to buy or sell to. I have a separate video that explains how player shops work, so definitely go check that out. But it's also a really nice way to flex people's builds, because that is what survival is all about. And as an example, this one here is absolutely beautiful. I've actually never been here before, but this is just magical. It's a cherry blossom tree and it's got such gorgeous designs to it, followed by your very own villager trade hall that is set outside in a beautiful setting. I think this is absolutely magical when I come around and see these. Honestly, this just shows so many artistic skills when it comes to building. You also have a shop in here that we can get into, and so you can come in here and you can see all of the different things, all of the different villager trades. This is a really nice villager trade hall, by the way. Anyway, I'm getting distracted from my actual video, which is about guilds. So I've done the command guild top. This is important to note that in order to get on this, you need more power. I'm going to explain how you get power in a second. But at the end of seasons here normally last about 6 months, give or take, over on survival. On the very last week, when the server is shut down for a reboot / reset of survival, the top 5 guilds will get a tag, a custom tag, for that season. So that is kind of what guild top is all about over on survival. But I'm actually going to do the command /guild. And if you hover over here, this signpost actually tells you all the different commands in game. You have the option for /guild, which brings up the menu. You can then do guild create and give your guild a name. So for example, our guild is called Melons, I think it is, or Unk Melons. So you can do that one. You can then do guild invite username. So as an example, I could do guild invite Luke_99, and I could have Luke join my island. In here, we then have the ability to change both members' permissions and the permissions of each member's role, which I will come back to in just a second. But being part of a guild means that you can share claims, money, as well as all sorts of different things. So in here, we have the command guild deposit, where you can deposit money, and then each member of that guild can access the money depending on the permissions that you set. The same command goes for guild withdraw, so you want to take money out of the guild bank, then that is an option as well. At any point, you can rename your guild. There's no cooldown on that as far as I know. Guild missions is a really important one, because in guild missions, this is where you can see all the different tasks that you need to do as a team. and there are different levels to them. Now, each one of these provide different rewards, which we can see in here. For example, Fish Court provides you with 3 shield keys for level 1. Each one, though, does require an individual participation requirement. So although you have a progression, so for example, my guild's progression, as you can see here, is currently at 3,861. I do have an individual requirement, so I can see I've contributed around 3.2% of that right now, and I need to unlock that before I can actually claim the reward. All of these rewards are pretty cool, and each level that you go up obviously will have a different reward slash prize for you to do. I'm just going to go back into that interface, which is slash guilds. So a couple of other things is the claim. So you do get guild claim chunks. It's a really nice way to claim land on the survival world, because the more guild mission points that you do, guild mission points, oh my gosh, what am I saying? The more guild power that you get, then the more guild claims that you can have. At any point, you can do the command guild promote or guild demote or guild kick to do any of those 3 things to set players of the server. And then you also have guild sep warp, and that is basically where you then spawn in. So when I do that command G top, I can click here to visit this guild, and this is where their G warp is set. So this is where it's set for me to come in and then have a look around and see their shops and do all of that stuff. I really love this. I think this is so beautiful to see. So just going back into that command slash guild, if I hover over members, you can see here all of the different people that we have, and I can hover over it to see the contribution that each person has provided. So for example, Ollie has provided 15,000 guild, Luke has provided 16,000. I'm really letting the team down here because I've only contributed 129. Timic at 1,800 and Liam at 16,000. All of that guild power goes into a contribution, which then bumps us up on G top. We have guild permissions. So in here, you can see the different types of ranks that you can have. So you can have a guest, you can provide trust access, loyal access, or divided. And in each one of these, there are different options for different commands that they can do. So things like editing claims, editing permissions, breaking spawners, setting spawners down. So you can enable slash disable all of these depending on which ones you wish to do. And then if I just come back, we obviously have those guild missions, which I did just touch on. And then you also have claims. And in here, you can see how many claims your guild has in total and how many unspent guild claim chunks they have available. You can also click this to view, and then you can see here, you can click to go to those chunks that you have claimed, but you can also use that as an option to claim land. I do have a separate video explaining how to claim land, which I highly recommend going to check out. That is specific to survival on this server, which uses the interface like this to claim lands. Definitely go and check that out. Okay, and then essentially all I'm going to say is if I go back and I finally go back to that command slash guild and I hover over, you can see here we have guild power of 50,000. I am going to have a separate video explaining the best methods to get guild power, but essentially the way that this works is the more grinding that you do, so for example killing mobs or farming, all of those things contribute towards a guild power. You can see here all of the different options. So you have 5 guild power for fish court, you have 50 for blocks mined, 50 for crops, 100 for mobs, and then PvP kills is 50 guild power. It's worth noting on the PvP kills, they do have to be unique PvP kills. You can't just get a team member to go to PvP and keep killing them on repeat for guild power. Unfortunately, it does not work that way. But doing all of those things contributes to your power, which then contributes to your team power, which will then put you back onto that G top leaderboard in here. Okay, and that is the end of this video. I hope you guys found this useful. Please let me know in the comment section if you did. Also, let me know if you do have any amazing guilds, because I actually, coming to this guild, I feel like I'm gonna want to do some guild like tours, right? Like kind of show off the amazing builds that we have over here. Again, please don't forget to drop a like right now, and please don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in another video very soon. But goodbye for now.